Ghetto Gazette on the morning. Yeah, this is the woman here. It's a Mexican woman who works in it's gonna bring agent provocateur. Some Burger King. This woman here, right there with her face smiling. That's her right there. Get her face in there. She's a little bitch. The first time she spoke to me in 3 years, she came out here 5 days ago. Oh, sorry, 7 days ago, thereabouts, to take money from the bank after I went in there to get tissue. Immediately after I went in there to get tissue. And she came out. The first time she's spoken to me, never speak to her. You know, you see people's faces, we've seen each other's faces, but I never even hollered at her. You know, some people have this kind of really aggressive looking face. Now once I see such a bow, I just look away. I'm sorry. Yes, equally, you know, there's people who are smiling, who are fake smilers. Okay, that's a different issue, but you have to keep your eyes open for those ones, especially as well. And then the one with the obvious angry looking face looking at you, then there's no point in us communicating because the vibes is obvious. But anyway, that woman there, you know, she's been there for maybe longer than I've been here, 3 years. And they sent agent provocateur staff. So I swear, Burger King has sent over 30 staff to try to come and, you know, worm their way into me. Even the Gemeente, the cleaners staff, you know. But, you know, it's quite obvious, you know, like when they come across because their behavior is almost homogenous. You know, the way how they look at you, the way how they scope you, almost as if they're trying to read you. And they're so, like, you know, detectable that I don't know why they even send them in the first place. But this is tactics that's been used for many centuries. It's obviously been working, so they probably think, you know, they just carry on with the same old maneuvers. Well, it doesn't work on me. Evil people, honestly, send people to come to fight me. Yeah, 2 days ago, I got into a fight. It's always mainly with small guys. They come and hit me first. Obviously, we think they're faster than me. You know, I've had like 4 fights with big guys here. And big guys are generally okay. They're sure of themselves. They're not bullies. They're not out swaggering. Unless it's a steroid head big guy, then that's a different situation. But, you know, yeah, man, you know, that's an idiot. But generally, it's always the small guys who have this small man syndrome. We know it. We're seeing animals. We're seeing dogs. So why shouldn't it be in mammals? And we know this as human beings. But yet we keep quiet. But anyway, these people who feel inferior to you, you know, many times they say to me when they approach me, "Oh, you got a nice smile. Wow." And then in the same sentence, "Oh, have you thought about cutting your hair?" Wow, isn't my hair part of why I'm smiling? Wouldn't you think? You know? Oh yeah. Have you tried, you know, like getting much more beautiful clothes, much more designer clothes? Yes, I'm fun. Okay, let's show you the picture of the ugliest man in the world again. Here I am. Onochi Nadekwe, aka Jesse James, aka Peter Pan, Abdullah Suleiman. There you go. Yeah, I'm here. So, you know, I mean, the situation here is dire straits. You know, I've been in the 40 fights in the 3 years I've been here. Yes, with all range of people, even with people from Nigeria. Even Nigerians are at it. Don't think Nigerians are not at it. Even my own so-called blood people are at it, and then Muslims so-called are at it, and then so-called Asians, and then so-called Indonesians, and then so-called Somalis, and then so-called Greeks, and then so-called Spanish, and then so-called Moroccan, and so-called Turkish. You know, it's a real shame because when the people from different countries come here, like this lady from Mexico, I think she's from Mexico, you know, they come here and they're the one who actually propping up the fascism within the system. Yes, of course it is. You know, I mean, like, you're telling me you don't have Asian people who are more fascists to each other. And then when they export it to people like me, as a black man, it becomes normal. And that's where fascism comes from. All these people who are fascists think they're better than their own people, especially people who are living on ground level, especially people who are living naturally. They think they're better than the natural world who bore them. How does that work out? They're trying to move far away and deviate, you know, from the natural system, you know, which we all came to find. Okay, that's just a simple crux of it. Okay, and then these people are just, you know, really wicked. Yeah, I know I can lose my life. You know, Martin Luther King did. You know, Mahatma Gandhi did. Malcolm X did. You know, like, need I keep on adding other people who suffered at the hands of the system because of what they believed in their speech? That's okay, because that sufferation is not finished. I am John Lennon. I am Harry F. Tubman. I am Shaka Zulu. I am Martin Luther King. I am Malcolm X. I am, you know, I try to follow the doctrines of all the prophets. I do try to follow of all the prophets. No, I mean, yeah, so that is the way that's been prescribed for us. And that is the natural way. That is the way that makes you feel calm. I've been homeless for 3 years, 2 months now here. And I promise you, other than the justice departments, like the police, the so-called psychiatry, the so-called prison officers, the so-called street security guards. I swear I don't have a problems. And with the agent provocateurs who they send to come and fight me, 30, 40 fights, and really 37 fights in about like the time I've been here. From agent provocateurs who come to try to work for the system because I criticize them online. I criticize the so-called Regenboog. Regenboog means rainbow in Dutch, and this is supposed to be the charity organization alongside the Legergezels. Legergezels is one who deal with the criminal entities who come out of prison or need somewhere for probation and stuff like this, and they all work together. And then Regenboog, when I used to use it, Blakkerwater and Prinsenhof, and also Bilderdijk, and also I used the Clove 1 or 2 times. That's one of the best, quietest places was the Clove. These people really do not care. They have rooms there where they can smoke crack, where they can use heroin. But then if you light a marijuana joints and they're like, whoa, get the hell out, magnet doen, you can't do this, get out for 1 hour, we don't smoke marijuana in here, wow. So they're saying the use of marijuana may not be an issue for us. Yes, okay, it's good to have the rooms. I'm not saying it's not good to have them. It's good to have the rooms. Take it away from the streets. Take it away from the society, from the general society. But at the same time, there has to be the rehabilitation process, which still has to be implemented, which they're not doing. They're stealing the funds, which is allocated to them. Most homeless people just suffer, and the only way homeless people pay, in terms of paying the system taxes, by going to prison for a week or 2 weeks for sleeping outside, or maybe for a fine for urinating, or maybe a fine for drinking or something like this, or maybe for shoplifting or whatever, or for so-called criminal behavior. Okay, well, I don't even get that in the least. My issue comes from, I don't even get that. I don't even shoplift. I don't even steal. People are very nice to me. My family, obviously, most I blessed, alhamdulillah. And general strangers, really strangers come up to me. Yes, Dutch people as well, obviously, And thanks to all those people who generally stop for me. But in the 3 years and 2 months that I've been holding up the sign here, well, not quite 3 years, but I've been doing it for longer. But here in Holland, I've been holding up the sign now. Various versions of the same written form. I'm trying to raise awareness on the issues of pedophiles in the system, generally police officers, why they don't investigate, why it takes 45 years for a beast like Jimmy Savile to be outed, and even then only when he's passed away. And there are many people who should be outed who are around now. Look at the guy that was sitting next to the Pope for about 10 months before he went back to Australia to face issues of raping of kids, of boys, 300 different allegations swept under the carpet. Here, rabbis here in this Holland, in UK, royal family, they're all involved, teachers, so-called psychiatrists. I've been speaking about this issue really since I was in care myself. Since 14 years old I was in care, and friends of mine who experienced some of this vile issue that I'm telling you about, even some older guys who I've met over the years, women. My case was different. I was just physically abused because I was a boisterous child. I was a happy child, but still very boisterous. I think I know what I saw, and I didn't quite agree with the system. And I always kind of, in my, I would say, a childish, devious way, wanted to get my own back on them. I think you guys can hear me smiling now, but I don't appreciate the past of what I used to do, and I come away from that, but I'm only smiling because of the fact that I can't believe, that was me, and and that was how I was living my life. But at the same time, it also shows that now that I'm grown up and I know what the issues is in my head that I didn't know at that time, it still makes me smile, because at that time I was right, and now I was right, only I was doing something wrong at that time. So I'm trying to make it right now. No stealing, no robbing, no peddling of drugs, all this nonsense. I'm not saying that's the worst crime of all, but for me personally, if I'm going to be speaking against such issues, the impacts on society, in various important ways, moralistic ways, I cannot be a hypocrite. So that's why I try and stay away from these people here, and I try and stay away from the in-lobe centers. In-lobe centers are charity centers where you can sleep. I don't even sleep there because many people have mental illness problems, or drug-induced, I may add. Because there's nothing wrong with these people when they're not taking their drugs. Normal people. Hello, good morning, how are you? Okay, but anyway, this Regenboog Society charity doesn't want to help. Rainbow, as we know, is being hijacked, or trying to be hijacked by the so-called LGBT community, where in fact the rainbow, if we look at it from the logical, natural standpoint, it will not be a reflective of a mindset, rather it will be reflective of a race. Brown, black, pink, red, green, blue. Yes, this is it. Yes, we haven't got a blue race, but who knows? They might be out there in space. Maybe that's what rainbow is reflective of, but still not a mindset of, let's say, sexuality or deviation of such thought. Anyway, this is it. The one-man army, one man in many army as well. Alhamdulillah, I'm still here. You know, regardless of what they do. When is your time, is your time. Inshallah, may Allah forgive us our sins of this world. You know, and inshallah, may Allah give us good in this world and give us good in the next world. But for anybody who wants good, inshallah. And I make this dua now because I think the shaitan, a'udhu billah, doesn't want good, will never want good. So I believe in my own limited understanding of the Quran, anybody who wants good, I don't think is a shaitan, even though he's still struggling with the shaitan, a'udhu billah, with the shayateen feelings, a'udhu billah. That is the point. Still want that good, still make tawbah, still seek forgiveness. And this is the point, because you smoked one doesn't mean you have to go and smoke 1 kilo. And that is the point. Don't listen to the whisk-wash of the people. That is the whispering, the wicked whispering of the devil, a'udhu billah. So this is my point I'm trying to say, is that I'm just trying to show my life as it is, as how I live it day to day. It's not glamorous to some people. It's not the most effervescent in terms of what I do. I just find somewhere, I sit down, I relax, I kick back and just try to observe and write. Sometimes I play music and sometimes, yeah, just be me, because I haven't got a job. But this is my job, the dawah. I speak to almost 20 different people a day. When I mean 20 different people, there could be like 5 people in a group, 15 in a group. They take selfies with me, we take pictures sometimes. And the system gets jealous. And look at that camera over there, that lamppost. They're yet to give me the evidence from that. This camera here, they're yet to give me the evidence from that, showing the bulldog officer. And when he came out here to try to discriminate against me and assaulted me twice, and I defended myself, and yet I went to prison, unlawfully put in psychiatric evaluation because I refused to speak to the psychologist because I know what they're going to do. Sign you off as being mad. That's what they do. So people, remember this, if ever you were to be sectioned, don't ever speak to a psychologist. Don't even tell them what you may think or do not think. Yes, my name is blah, blah, blah. Yes, I don't think I should be here. And stay in your room, come out for your food only. And yeah, don't conversate with people too much. And they're going to evaluate you by watching how you behave, watching how you walk around in the establishment. But listen to this. Nobody can stay in their room 6 weeks, okay? Like 22 hours a day and be sane. Well, I did that 22 hours a day when I was sent to this establishment 3 times for evaluation. You know, I stayed in my room. So trust me, if I was mentally ill, anybody was mentally ill, trust me, after 2 days in their room for 22 hours, they will rip their hair out. Well, I've done it for the full 6 weeks. What they're talking about. Well, yeah, the system wants to denigrate me. Yes, they're trying to use their power and their influence. Yeah, yes, I write about them. I mean, check out my my Facebook, Onochi Madekwe. Check out my YouTube, Ghetto Gazette, you know, and check out my older YouTube, Onochi 76. You know, and you will see that I've been doing this for a long time. This is not just a new issue for me. You know, we have to speak about these issues because this is what's going on. You know, kids are being assaulted, kids are being, you know, demonized, debased, and then by the time these kids grow up, they become murderers, they become killers. You know, they're prescribing Ritalin to kids at 7 years old, saying he's got ADHD, he's got BBB. There's nothing wrong with a child. I think these people have forgotten that they used to be children. Because being a child, you're very hyperactive. You run up and down. You know, like you shout. I mean, when I was a child, my dad had to come upstairs about 50 times to tell my sisters and I to stop jumping on the bed. You know, this is a kid. I'm like, you know, like this is what kids do. You know, like, so you take him out to the park. He comes, Daddy, let's go home. No, one more lap, son. Daddy, let's go home. No. You keep making him do one more lap until he comes and says, Daddy, let's go home. Okay, the tone of voice is different now. Come on, son, let's go. Now he's going to sleep very well. I mean, what is going on with you guys here? It's really sick. You're doing it to your own people. Fascism starts with their own people before it's been exported. I used to be so hung up on racism before, but now, you know, for 20 years ago, I actually really fully grasped the meaning of fascism. And it's disgusting because European people were murdered here. Stolen land. I mean, all the land that, you know, that the royal families, castles and, you know, buildings stand on were stolen land 200, 300, 400 years ago from the people by means of blood, by cutting their head off. 250 years ago, 200 years ago, if you didn't pay tax, the king's men would come and cut your head off. So they gave me, like, so that story of Robin Hood from the UK, although, you know, displayed as fictional, was not totally fictional. There were people rebelling. Scotland, Ireland, Wales, you know, here in Europe. So basically, and even before that, then the Greek came and Greek and Romans came for the attack, but still people were still rebelling, running away into the mountains to try to save their neck. So now, fast forward 200, 300, 400 years later, you people are acting as if, oh yeah, why are you not paying tax? You need to pay tax. It is good to pay tax. Well, look at the roads not being fixed. And look at the trams. You get me? Why are you still paying €3 for 1 hour ride on a tram? We're in a developed world. We're not living in the so-called third world, as you like to say it, the primitive world. Which one do you want? Is it the third or the primitive? Because if it's a third world, then we know it's number 3. But if it's a primitive world, then we know it's number 1. So you see, even in language, even in speech, even in method of thinking, you guys are just so, how you say, sociopathically digressed in your thinking. Using words like bad to describe good. Yeah, you know what I mean. Using words like, phrases like, a stab in the dark to mean taking a chance in life. How are you going to use negative connotations to try to describe something positive? It can never be. It will never be. So don't you understand the source of the mental illness that most of you are suffering from? From not even using the right words for what they mean, from not even using the right connotations for what they represent. And eventually when you get to a stage of 15, 20 years when you're suffering from your alcoholic stupor or your crack-induced form of, psychosis or the mushroom or all this stuff, then you don't know which way is up because you're used to using words and phrases for not meaning what they are. That's just a basic, simple thing. It is that simple because we are thought, we are word. What we think is what we are. It's a mind state. Life is not easy. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Please don't think I'm trying to wishy-washy anything for you. Bloody well difficult. Sometimes you feel like pulling your hair out, whatever, you know, but it's bloody well difficult. But still, you have to go through. Yes, I do not stand with any group or so-called technical disorder group or management. I make up my mind if I want to join any group. And I'm like, removing myself from this so-called status quo system that we live in because I'm not part of it. I mean, like we say that a crime is a crime and anybody who does a crime should be punished for the crime. Well, we agree with that. Then so-called should, and so should be against the enforcers of crime as well. The enforcers of crime and the statutory givers of crime, of whatever law is, and not above that law which they just writ themselves or which the foot soldiers are enforcing. That is what we're getting to here. It's about transparency, it's about fairness. There isn't any fairness, there isn't any transparency, okay? Yes, I mean, like, how can it be the worst crime ever? Let's sit down and really think about this because rape of any kind is not good. Yes, and when I speak against child rape, I speak of all rapes, I speak of all forms of, sexual and vile, emotional theft of somebody's emotion. Of somebody's makeup, okay? And this is what's going on. I mean, like, imagine a child. What could be worse than raping a child, a vulnerable person? Yes, equally is raping a woman. I agree, or not as equally, but not totally acceptable either, okay? Or raping a man, or raping anything, or having sex with animals. The animal didn't ask to be had sex with, even taught to be had sex with, as we see on movies, or we see on internet, and these people who are having sex with these animals, they look very beautiful, look nice. So who are they when I walk down the streets and I see the same similar faces as what I just saw on those disgusting foul movies? Who are these people? You go to the bank in the morning, she's very beautiful. Hello, sir, how can I help you? No, mate, wasn't you that person who just had sex with a horse or put an eel up your pum-pum? That's not good. But anyway, this is what's going on in the system. But look, listen to this. What can be worse than raping a child, the most vulnerable thing, the most beautiful thing? Next to this earth, in this realm that we're living in, children are angels, okay? Most beautiful, most innocent, everything they do. We used to be children ourselves, so why have they forgotten? How have they forgotten? Oh wow, this thing is sick. Alcoholics, number one. Most of the people drink, most of society drink. It is their crutch in life. What a shame. And then they digress into other forms of uses of coke, of crack, of whatever. The justice system uses it. Even though they sentence you for it, even though they arrest you for it, they use it more than you. Oh, so this is the fairness we're living in. And this is coming from an ex-criminal, so-called. And this is coming from a street man, from a homeless man. Yes, and this is coming from, I mean, like, for long I've been calling for police officers to be wearing cameras. Why am I going to be calling for police officers to be wearing cameras? What for? If I've got something to hide? No, they've got something to hide. That's why they keep hiding. That's why they keep not wanting to implement this, even though it's available, even though they can, even though they do come out sometimes with it. Okay? Because it will show them in their life for what they are. Disgusting, brutal, Neanderthalic, beastie, debased, pedophilic, shitty, vile people. If we can call them people, that latter adjective, if we can call them that. Okay, this is what's going on. Okay, and then they come in there pretend to be the officiators. Yeah, we're the lawyers, we're the doctors, we're the solicitors, we're the psychiatrists, we're the judges, we're the royal family. You're a bunch of child raping pedophiles. That's what you are. That's what we see. It's been going on for thousands of years, forever. And now you're trying to bring it out into the light. Here in Holland, yes, they say they're banned, or now they are, so they say. But there was a group that, and they're still in the shadows, controlling positions of influence, say they want the right to have sex with 12-year-old children. What the frig is going on there? What 12-year-old child wants to be a cum bucket for a dirty old man? And it's really boys they like. You know who they like? Little boys. Because when a boy and a girl is at that age, there's no difference in their physiology in terms of how they look. They both look the same. So it's homosexual in its act, whether he's doing it to a little girl or a little boy, because they're both physiologically undeveloped at that age. They're both, yeah, just the fact that they're just a boy and a girl, but looking at them at that age, it's the same. So what's going on? So it's homosexual in his act. Don't tell me nothing here. Don't try to tell me all this heterosexual people are doing pedophilism. No heterosexual person would ever do that. Because why? Because they'll be concerned with heterosexualism. People of their own type, their own kind. So once they moved away from that, you know, like when somebody has committed an act like that to a little girl, my friend, you're not heterosexual anymore. Get it right. It's a deviation. Okay, and this is the point, using language for what it is and using descriptions for what it is, meaning what you say and actually thinking of what you say and being able to like propagate it and speak it. Okay, not fluently at times, because I get tongue-tied like everybody else, you know, but I still like to think I'm better than Donald Trump anyway. Sorry, Donald Trump. Yeah, but this is what's going on here, you know. But it's real, it's real. It's real life. I mean, like, nothing ain't really gonna change. I mean, you can see me here. You can hear the splashing of water, like he's trying to soak me up. But this is what they do. They try to get a, yeah, man. I'm okay, brother. You okay, yeah? Yeah, man. I'm just trying to do my own thing quietly. But this is it, honestly. The bulldog, the bullfrog, all these people, the sports cafe, the Burger King, the lady I showed you earlier. Yeah, all management of the circles hates me. The Apple store there, I used to write there 3 years ago. I used to spend about 4 hours in there writing like anybody else, like a library, quiet, never disturbed anybody. All of a sudden, after 6 months, they come to me. After 6 months, they said, sorry, sir, you can only use it for 45 minutes now. I've got it documented on my Facebook, and yeah, it's crazy. The whole system here, the Barley restaurant, you know, they've got a place outside for you to charge your old person scooter or whatever, and then you know, it's got free plug points. I use one of them. I don't block any scooter people. After about nearly 4 months, they started turning off that as well. It's council property. Is made for the outside, for the general public use, you know, and yet this is the kind of thing that they do, you know. So many places they've been chasing me from, but I also equally don't want to be there anyway, because I go there and I tell them what I think of them in criticism, but they don't like it. That Black and Water place, how many people have died in their establishment? So-called Regenboog charity. Many people have died in their establishment. They don't help people, you know, overdoses, you know, okay, these people are dressed nice in terms of you can't visibly see the crackheads anymore in terms of their clothing. Yeah, but if you look closely enough behind all the washed faces, some of the washed faces, you still see the rag and bones like Auschwitz victim, like some slavery camp, transatlantic victim, you know, woman that was transported to America, you know. So I mean, this is what's going on out here. You know, it's disgusting. They don't really want to help the people. They want to keep them in a stupor. And the people are so stupid. People are so stupid. Those people who are suffering, obviously they're broken down. So the government promised them. I swear they pay them in beer, they pay them in crack, they pay them in ecstasy, they pay them in drugs. Because these people are just zombies, innit? And that's what's going on in it. You know, and it's really sad, because the whole system, or at least all of us within the system, we know about all these problems. We know about all these issues of child rape. We know about all these issues of murder. We know about all these issues of serious blackmail, you know, by people within the system. But yet we keep quiet. Why? Because everybody just stuck within this money issue, you know, addicted to it, thinking they're going somewhere. You know, I mean, look at these people coming here. You know, some of them pay €7 for a beer and a Heineken Terrace, really, when they can just go to you know, to the supermarket and just buy a beer for 50 cents a can. But no, they want to pay for the status. They want to pay for being there, for saying that we was there, and then go home broke, having to pay for the credit cards, you know, charges which they used while they was here on holiday. I mean, imagine what's going on here. It is really sad. It is really that sad. I mean, like, so many people in this life, you know, just working hard, allegedly. Yes, the job is shit. Yes, the job is no good. Yes, the manager's not good. The boss is fucked up. But still, they're still spending their money I just say unwillfully, spend the money wisely. Spend the money in such a way that you can at least save, that you can at least pay for your holiday if you go there and not oversaturate it, or have a blown up version of it. So when you go back, you're owing like £7,000, £10,000. But this is what's going on with this society. Hence why these people, when I see their faces, is all twisted in contortions of anger and and wickedness, and yet me that's homeless, I'm walking, trying to smile, trying to exist, and it pisses them off when they see the smile on my face. That alone pisses off the general public. So they don't have to be part of a group to come to attack me. That alone, they say, wow, look at us working 9 to 5, breaking our backs, and then this guy's out there in the streets, people helping him, giving him food, sometimes money, people, talking to him, giving him the time of day, and that pisses them off because it shows what is the difference between them and I. They're doing all that stuff and they're more stressed than me, and I'm living on the ground, literally on the ground. But I like the ground where I am, I'm not broken down. I try to shower, I try to douche, I try to manicure myself. Goedemorgen mevrouw. I tell a lie. Very nice woman, and her husband. He used to be a former police officer, a millionaire. Here's the building, the spread of the building. Only because she came out, let me just quickly digress and show you this. And she's the only person, and him, that lets me sit here. Here I can't sit anymore. I sat there, RT5, RT Boulevard. I sat here for almost 3 years, and then from 2 months ago, the police spoke to the boss of them and told him that I'm not allowed to sit there anymore. Seriously, this was going on. I'm not even lying to you. This is Rhino. He's the only person that actually lets me sit on the steps, so long I don't smoke marijuana here, so I don't. And Burger King, as you can see, that's a spread with a woman. And one big multitude, corrupt workers, coalition of workers, but still, the Most High Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the power. And what is the balance of power? Let me tell you what I think the balance of power is in some sort, if not entirely, but in some sort. This is it, what I think, okay? They have the military, they have all the bombs, they have all the police, they have even all the gangsters on the streets. But guess what they haven't got? They haven't got the truth, okay? And the truth is this: one man or woman can be the catalyst for change in any local environment, international environment, outer national, whatever you want to say. This is it, I'm telling you. And how is that power balanced? Look at me, one man. I've been arrested 67 times in 3 years, 59 times with no charges. I'm going to court this month on the 24th, allegedly for calling a police officer homo. After all this arrest, this is one of the best they can come up with. They stuck me in a mental institution 3 different times for evaluation because I refused to speak to psychologists because I knew they were trying to set me up. Okay, this is what's going on. These groups you're seeing. Okay, but at the same time, I'm not totally depressed because why? I have the Most High in my heart. I try to commune with the Most High. I try to train to keep to take away the excess levels of negative emotion. So exert the negative emotion and keep the positive. And this is, this is what I'm trying to do. But anyway, that's what helps to keep me. Imagine being arrested 67 times. Sometimes I go to police station for 6 hours, 4 hours. One time I was there for 15 minutes, go within the 59 times with no charges. And then I've had this is lawyer number 11th. And to be honest with you, I'm not totally confident in all these people because they're all related, they're all no friends, it's cronyism, it's nepotism. I know what goes on, come on, man, it's not a new issue. And then why they're trying to pretend like it is, like I'm conspiracy theories, I'm making it up, there's no phone links, there's no communication links between different people who are pretending to be separate organizations, but in truth they come to a big pool at the end of the month or whatever to discuss what's going on in the locality. I mean, this is how it is, this is how the world runs, okay, everywhere. And basically Holland is not, different from it, Yeah, but some people look at me, I'm trying not to get their face here, but Holland's not different from it. Hello guys, you okay?
Hi.
Hi, yeah, but I'm just doing a recording. Well, I'm like 28 minutes in now, I'm just trying to do a recording about the issues, what I'm facing here, what's been going on,
You are recording for what?
For my YouTube. I make videos. Yeah, I make videos and I put it there. This country, like anywhere in the world, is not good.
Can we see on the that one on the YouTube?
Oh yeah. You go to here, Ghetto Gazette.
Yeah.
Ghetto Gazette. Yeah, but where you from? Russia?
No.
Uzbekistan?
Turkey.
Turkey. Oh, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
How are you? Okay.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum. Yeah. Oh wow, wow! You got hear the extrapolations. Basically, she wanted to check it, but the guy was much more trying to run away. But that's what I always get. You know, like in terms of being out here, women are much more forward. Honestly, yeah. Like if you see the stares I get, like women were walking by with their husbands or their boyfriend or whatever, and the women were always like. 90% they'll smile at me or say hi, or I say hi back or smile at them. But the husband will put his face down like he didn't see me. Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, like if I see my wife saying hi to somebody, you know, or she's looking over, I would say hi too, you know, because she's my girl. I trust her. She should be saying, you know what I mean? So, but mostly they don't. They just want to run away. But it's good. Anyway, it's part of the society, what we're going through. Not just this necessarily this issue, but it impacts somewhat slightly of how we see people, of how we judge people in terms of being in a group, especially what I was saying earlier about trying to join a group. You know, you have a group, a man and a woman, a separate group. One person in the group is all right, another person in the group's acting up. So, yeah, so it kind of impacts slightly on what I was saying. But anyway, I lost my trail of thought what I was saying before that, you know, precisely before that moment when it came. But still, this is it. We all have to try and do our best, stick to the truth, and remember that we are thought, we are word. Yeah, you know, the body is just a symptom, or if you like, a carrier of what is existential, which is our spiritual mind, not even our brain, because our brain is obviously physical, but what is the contents that came within our brain, that is existential, and it will always be existential, you know, and it's part of the universe, part of the source, part of the, you know, look at the trees, look at the birds, look at the animals, look at, come on, man. Do I need to tell you guys about the basic stories of what nature is and how nature is all powerful? Come on, you all live in nature. We're all from nature. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now, but that was a freestyle. I know what you meant to say. I'm going to try and upload this later. Boom, bam, boom. Keep moving. Assalamu alaikum to all. Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And to everybody trying to be good, keep trying to be good and trying to tap into the source of the Most High. Okay? Because so long as you're... Yes, big man. Who had to do it? Yeah, man. Just finishing up on the video.
Okay,
you cool, brother. You okay, though, yeah?
Yes, I'm okay. Okay.
And the baby keeping you awake, though?
Yes, I keep you awake. Okay.
Wow, you love it, though.
Yes.
How are you? Have a nice day, yeah? One love. Yeah, man, but that's one of the delivery guys for the DHL. Similar to DHL, I think. Yeah, he's a very nice man. You know, one of the people actually who always speaks to me. So you see, even in the house of Pharaoh, you would always have somebody who would always want to treat you good. I'm not going to lie to you. Even though you hear me complain about Burger King, you heard me complain about Bulldog, you heard me complain about Satellites Cafe, there are members of staff within there who still try to extend their hand to me within all these places. And are they being controlled by the management? Possibly. Are they being sent forward by the management? Possibly. But for the fact that they are able to come forward, even if sent, shows me that they still have something which is slightly different from what the management doesn't have. Okay, I'm gone anyway. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Everybody trying to be good, continue trying to be good. Trust me, the devil doesn't want to be good. He's stuck in his badness. A'udhu billah. So from you trying to be good, trust me, you cannot be the devil. You're just struggling with the issues of the devil. A'udhu billah. Stay strong. Assalamu alaikum.